Look like we are up again. It's gonna be a lot going on this episode. A lot. This is pretty much a loaded episode. Bills is not gonna be here though.
Yeah, no, I read the message earlier. So let me just get my energy drink because it was a long day at work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I work. Matter of fact, I wound up not taking a lunch.
Oh. Okay. But yeah, it's looking like a lot going on, man. A lot going on in free agency. This is gonna be pretty nuts. Uh, First and Framerates podcast episode. What is this? 128.
I guess so.
Yeah, this is 128. NFL free agency. That's been going on all day, pretty much the past couple of days, actually.
Yeah, pretty. It's like as soon as they hit, what was it? As soon as they hit midnight Monday, that's when everything. But wait a minute, I thought this was because doesn't the free agency period have that like what they call it? That period, that grace period before. Remember, they had an issue with this the tampering period.
Yeah, something like that. But they call it the legal tampering period now. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I figured this is the period that they're in, but this is actual free agency began and boom, 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 boom. I was just like, well, what was the point of the legal tampering period? They're not going to do it this year.
Yeah, I don't know. You just find it kind of weird when you hear that type of wording. But nevertheless, players can sign where they want to sign. A lot of players going different places. A lot of surprises, some trades, all kind of stuff going on. So we're definitely gonna dwell into that.
Oh, and give y'all a heads up. Next week, 40th birthday. On Tuesday's podcast next week, I'm dropping that PayPal link. Y'all know what to do.
Yeah. Show that man some love.
Yep.
Turn the big 4-0. He's getting old.
Even if it's 40 of y'all dropping $1, that'll work.
I know, right? you ain't choosy. You ain't picky. Nah, man. But yeah, we're gonna talk about free agency. We're going to the NFL free agent. We're talk about MLB the show because that just came out, and we're also gonna talk about Call of Duty. I haven't touched MLB the show, but we'll get into that. I played a good bit of Warzone and Call of Duty Warzone, and I'm really liking that. But we're gonna get into that as well. But first thing first is a lot going on with the NFL, and matter of fact, just before we get into that, how was your weekend?
Oh boy, well, my weekend was going. I don't even remember my weekend honestly. There's no XFL and no. We were supposed to play Dallas this week, and we were gonna beat up on them like we did St. Louis. That would have been nice, but C virus is closing, shutting everything down. And then just this past Sunday in my county, now we have, let's see, it was one case reported in this county, in Howard County where I live. And pretty much now the whole city, whole county shut down. Maryland's been under a state of emergency. Howard County is now in a state of emergency. And now last I checked, we were up to 4, but I had a friend tell me now it's shot up to 19, like in a span of 3 days.
Yeah, this virus thing is getting out of hand,
and they had to close down the mall, which is right down the street from where I'm at, and I live right next to a hospital, and I live right next to a community college. They're about to do what they're about to do in New York. They're about to quarantine everybody in it. They're about to create these quarantine zones. I'm telling you, the division is about to happen.
Yeah,
watch out, martial law.
Yeah, we heard enough of all that. I'm trying to sidestep that for right now. I've just heard enough of it all weekend, and that's pretty much what my.
Well, you better sidestep it while inside your house.
Yeah, I mean, as far as listening to it, if I hear about it, I'm just going to get pertinent information, and that's probably going to be all of 5 minutes a day. And then I'm cutting it off. I'm not saying that I don't want to hear it. It's just that how much of it do I need to hear? And like for the past 5 days, since we did the 4 or 5 days since we did the podcast, so much information been going on. I'm a little coronavirus burnt out right now. I just
Yeah, a little Corona drunk.
yeah, I don't want to really, I really don't want to hear about it unless something really drastic happens. Because like right now,
Well, shoot.
the most thing that we're hearing now is like people are getting it, and older people are continuing to pass away. And like
Well,
nothing's really changing, but
well, they got one guy hemmed up. Guy tried to break quarantine. They
right.
were the sheriff's office pretty much surrounded his house. Now the guy's cooperating, but he has no choice when he got a shotgun pointed at him.
Just follow the orders. I mean, goodness, you don't need to be out here getting people sick. I mean, that just goes back to wash your damn hands and don't be gross. Now, if you know you got the virus, why are you trying to get around people? I mean, that's just. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
every workplace should shut down. Period.
And then the thing about that is like most of the time, if you're under the age of like 45 or 50, it's like if you just stay at home and self quarantine, 90% of the time it's going away within the next 5 to 10 days. I mean, look at Tom Hanks. All they did was sit their ass down somewhere and it's gone. Kevin Durant and them, they have it now. So they're going to tell them the same thing like with Donovan Mitchell. They had it. Well, I don't know if they still do, but you don't hear nothing like drastic happen when what they're doing. So it's like, I don't
you hear about people.
You hear about people getting it, but you don't hear nothing drastic or nothing ridiculously changing.
Oh, you don't hear about the recovery because there are people recovering from this as we speak. So
and we need to hear more of that. I agree. And it's just that the only thing you're hearing is the numbers of people getting it going up, and up. But
because the ratings are up in the news because people love drama. That's,
right.
This is the way it is.
And that's why I'm pretty much burnt out about it, because I'm hearing the same stuff. Give me new information. Give me something that we can build off of. Give me something that we as a country can go forward. I'm tired of hearing about just people getting it, and nobody's like coming up with the solution to actually try to make the wheels turn again. It's just like you said. It's just you just want to hear more about the doom and gloom to keep people in their houses, and for the most case, rightfully so, because some people need to be in the house. Don't want this to spread, but like for instance, I hear about some things getting in place where people can get some money now. They're gonna pass on some checks. They're trying to do
UBI. That is going to be that. I'm sorry, but that's going to be the wave of the future and mainly the basic function of it is due to automation.
Right.
Honestly, but in this situation, I think we need to enact some little UBI for the next few months because people are going to start. They need to take this seriously and self-quarantine. People need to limit their social interactions. So
I agree. But nevertheless, let's get into this free agency. I mean, a lot has been going on. Thanks to everybody that coming through and listen to us on a weekly.
And
basis.
Pooh, I see you. You have stuff to answer for.
No, I'm not. Nope. I'm not asking.
You are being charged, buddy. After what I saw.
Exactly. You need the
You need to be locked up, not put in a coma. Locked up.
You need to be quarantined too. Shit, nasty ass. But a lot of stuff been going on. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Obviously, we can start with the main stuff. With Brady. And hold on, before I even go there, people may not know who Pooh is. People may not know who Pooh is or whatever, or the case may be. I don't want people to think we're talking to ourselves. For the people who listen to us on iTunes or Google Play, we do have a chat because we do this live on YouTube as well. So just Google First and Framerates if you want to hear us live. For people who don't know that we're on YouTube, because I'm pretty sure there's people who download the podcast that don't know we do this live. But also, for the people who are on YouTube who listen to us and want to listen to us on the go, you can catch us on iTunes or SoundCloud. Just Google First and Framerates. So it may sound like we're talking to other people. We do have a chat that's on the YouTube channel where we actually respond to people that's in the chat. And we have a person that's in the chat right now who has questionable retweets.
Oh, come on. And it's funny. He talking about he was hacked. No, it was retweeted. It wasn't like you. Never mind.
Yeah. Anyway, where are we going to start? Where do you want to start that you find is interesting with this free agency? Because I mean, obviously the big names are out there, but I guess we could start with there. Or if you want to find something, a particular player that actually piqued your interest, you can go with that. The ball's in your court first, and then I'll come back with my thoughts.
Okay, well, if you want to go ahead and flash the site that I sent you
Okay.
and sort it by the dollars, because we're going to start with the big money players, the people that have gotten the big contracts so far. I say big contracts, but
So for
right.
the people who are listening to us on iTunes and SoundCloud, like we said, we do this live, and we also have a chart. So the people who are not there, we went to sporttrack.com/free agency. Oh,
Actually,
slash
Spot
NFL.
Track.
Spottrack.com/NFL/free agents. And we have a list of all the free agents who were signed as of the recording of this podcast. As of right now, we do know Tom Brady has been signed, but it's not on here yet. So go ahead and have at it, DJ. What piqued your interest so far?
Okay, so Byron Jones, right out the gate, 5 years, $82.5 million. Let's see, guaranteed at signing about 46. It looks like he'll be his 2020 cap is 14. Now, going from Dallas to Miami is pretty interesting, and it seems like Miami is really building. They spent at least the last few years just tanking it up. So it looks like they're trying to be serious players. Now that the AFC East has been vacated by Tom Brady, so now teams are going to actually have a shot to win the division. So teams like Buffalo, who picked up what's his face in a trade with Minnesota,
they picked up Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Diggs. Yeah, they picked them up in the trade. So now teams think they have a chance. Now it's just like, all right, let's go after these players. So to pick up a big-time corner was key for them. Let me see. Let me look at this list again. To the one name that I kind of laugh at, and I'm laughing at most of the Redskins fans, because they were wanting James Bradbury to sign with the Washington Redskins because it was just like, okay, reunite with Ron Rivera and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? He signed with the Giants. And here's the other funny thing. Let's see. Oh, he's not. Is he even on this list?
Who are you talking
about?
But
talking about the wide receiver from Dallas.
Amari
Cooper. Yeah, Amari Cooper. So he's gonna re-sign with the Dallas Cowboys. 5 years, $100 million. He was offered by the Redskins $120 million. He was like, "Nah, I want to win a Super Bowl."
Well, he went to the wrong place, but
he was gonna lose either way,
right?
Because I don't see the Redskins going to the Super Bowl anytime soon. And Dallas definitely, I don't see going to them. Fuck them anyway.
I mean, when it comes to money wise, I see Byron Jones is like the highest paid as of right now. When I'm looking, also when I look at the Dolphins, I'm looking at what quarterback they're going to get. That's going to be key because all these players are going to be pretty good. But if you don't have like a game manager at minimum, because you also got to understand they got Jordan Howard as well at running back. They did pick him up as well. So if you at the minimum, based on what they have, you get a game manager at quarterback. I mean, like I said, the AFC East is wide open. They have a chance. And even though the Dolphins, they always had that one game where they beat the Patriots anyway. So between them and the Bills, it looks like it's going to be pretty good.
Well, you also got to look at the fact that Cleveland threw the bag to the right side of their offense. So they picked up Jack Conklin and Austin Hooper, who's at tight end. They gave him $42 million, which 18 of it is guaranteed. $18.5 million is guaranteed at signing.
I would say as a tight end, personally, I think they overpaid for him. But based on the system that he's in with the other pieces, he can be really good because he's not necessarily going to be a target. You got other players on that team that defense is definitely going to have to look for. OBJ, you got what's OBJ's old teammate? What's his name?
Javaris Landry.
Yeah, got Landry. You got Nick Chubb. You got so many other pieces around Austin Hooper. He can be very productive in this scheme. because of the other pieces you have. Because I mean,
Well,
I'm not saying he's bad, but
mhm.
if you're looking at him to be like a big time tight end, you probably would have overpaid based on his skill. But the system that he's in, he can easily get some catches.
Well, the other thing that's interesting about Cleveland is that they also signed Case Keenum to back up. I can't remember that quarterback's name.
So you talking about? Hold on, wait a minute. They signed Case Keenum to back up Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
You don't think that might not be the other way around?
No, because
based on talent, I can see that happen. Not no joke. Baker Mayfield,
they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna bring in Case Keenum to just supplant Baker Mayfield. They're gonna bring. Hold on.
Baker Mayfield was so bad, they're not going to leave him out.
It doesn't even matter. They know there's more of a ceiling. There's more of a ceiling, a higher ceiling with Baker Mayfield than with Case Keenum. Case Keenum is the guy that's going to show Baker how to be a pro,
right?
How to shut the fuck up and not throw people under the bus. And he's not going to do that necessarily through his play. He's going to do that through his professionalism, how he interacts in the locker room. Because I feel like,
can I get a word in?
Whoa, you've been cutting me off the whole.
Go ahead, DJ.
But what I'm saying is that he's going to show Baker Mayfield how to be a pro. I feel like Baker has been loose with and obviously a poor example of being a professional, throwing teammates under the bus, not knowing when to shut the hell up, and then just, his poor play on top of that. At least Case Keenum, you can bring him in, and yeah, you don't expect Case Keenum to come in and challenge for the starting job. You see this as a mentorship type of deal. That's the way I see it.
If this dude put up the play that he did last year, he's not going to be playing. I'm looking at it right now. He threw for under 4,000 yards, 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. They're not going to go for that. Not with the talent that you got on the field. They're not going for that.
Yeah, but Case Keenum played poorly last year too.
Case Keenum will play better than what is on the screen right now. He'll play better than this.
I don't see going for somebody that's probably going to be good for maybe 1 year versus somebody who could be good for like 3 or 4.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That might be what Baker Mayfield may need to sit his ass down for 1 year, because they had him starting from day one, and you see what happened. I mean, I'm not saying Case Keenum is the future, but Baker might need that 1 year to shut the hell up for a second and watch somebody play some football, because everything he's basically been, I ain't gonna say coddled or catered to, like he hasn't been humbled like completely. Like he's been humbled like after week 6, after he's been getting smacked around a couple times. But for the most part, he still feels like he's QB1. He's gonna be all right. And if he goes out there and do everything he's supposed to do, and he still stinks it up, I wouldn't have a problem with him being on the bench, to be honest with you. I mean, you can't have this type of talent and still go 6-10 and have all these interceptions as much as you have touchdowns. Not with OBJ, Landry. Now you got Hooper and Chubb, Kareem Hunt as well. You can't put up those type of numbers and don't think Case Keenum is not going to see the field. I don't.
Well, and that's what and the thing with Case Keenum, it presents a challenger. So that usually, I'm like, what do they say about having competition?
Bro, they just signed this dude for $18 million, $6 million a year at $10 million $10 million guaranteed.
He's competition.
There's a I agree. He's competition, but there's a possibility if Baker don't step up, he's going to be on the bench.
That's the threat he presents. I give you that.
I don't think they signed him for this much money for him to be on the sideline. I can see if that was the case, they could have got somebody else that was like, let's say a rookie that didn't play much last year, or they got another free agent that's not going to cost as much with this type of experience. I get it. But with Case Keenum is a serviceable quarterback that actually can give you maybe 8 to 10 games. This is perfect for, like you said, the competition, but I don't see Case Keenum sitting on the bench while he put up these numbers from last year again. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. But speaking back up on the Miami Dolphins, they also boosted up their running back. Not only the running back.
Yeah, they got Eric Flowers.
they end up getting a defensive end, Emmanuel Agba. I mean, look, what pick do they have in the draft? Because it's really going to be telling to see what type of um, quarterback they get. Because I think that's going to be key at the end of the day. They got all the pieces. That's the only thing that they're missing.
Oh, this is an interesting stat. If you look over to the right side, see a pie chart.
Let me get you. Oh, I think the way I got it, got to go down.
Yeah, it should say free agent spending by team.
There we go. Right.
Dolphins are number one at $227.1 million for 7 players. And then the next one is Lions at 4 with $103 million. So yeah, the Dolphins are heavily invested in getting that AFC East challenge going.
Yeah, and they got a lot of space too. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure. Well, space don't really mean much when you have, with these new rookie contracts. They're not like the big ones like that like Bradford and Matthew Stafford got now. It's not those big type of contracts. So it just works out very well. Let's jump to another team. Let's look at the Buffalo Bills, for instance, and then I guess we'll jump to the Patriots after that. Buffalo end up trading for Stephon Diggs. I don't think they made any other moves, but what do you think about that for Josh Allen? Because that's going to be interesting. Tadal said that the Dolphins got the number 6 pick. So they could easily be going for Tua.
Yeah, and that was the thing that was being teased as trade down bait for the Washington Redskins. If Miami Dolphins really wanted Tua, they could trade up with the Skins and get to the number 2 spot to make sure that they get Tua. But I don't think the Redskins are going to trade down. But they're not going after Tua as much as it gets reported. But the Redskins, teams that are picking 1, 2, 3 in the top 5, they're going to do their due diligence and they're going to look at all overall top 5 players in the draft. That happens every year. So whenever there's like anything rumor wise, like, oh, the Redskins may be picking up Tua, I'm like, no, they're not. They're just doing their due diligence just like any other team. And they're looking at the top 5 overall because they're looking at Chase Young too. But more than likely, they're picking Chase Young. But yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case. But I think as far as them picking up Stephon Diggs, I think like me and Bills was talking about it. I think this is a perfect time for them to actually get Josh Allen some weapons because they was a very run-heavy team, and they did very good at running the ball, but the receivers just was not there. Not only that, Josh Allen just has to be a better passer. If he gets that, if he gets that down and they get the passing game going, the Bills are going to be a very, very difficult team to beat. They did very well against the Texans until they fell apart at the end. But like me and Bill said, like if they get the passing game going, that's a team you don't want to face. So it looks like they're headed in that direction to do that. Don't have much more to say about the Bills.
Well, they also picked up Josh Norman, which is just like, okay, I hope he fits that system, but you're going to get it only as much. I think you're going to get another mentorship type situation.
I just shrugged my shoulders at that.
Yeah,
that's Josh Norman's is to me is just not. He ran his course when it was the back end of the Redskins deal. Because, I mean, he was like the guy in the Panthers, and he was the guy for a little bit at the Redskins. And then the last few years after that deal, it was like, okay, that's Josh Norman. It's, I mean, okay. He just shrugged his shoulders at it, but I don't know. It's just, but when you look at the Patriots, they're kind of like looking at Jason Stidham at quarterback now. There's also rumors that Cam Newton may be going there because the Panthers signed Teddy Bridgewater.
I still think they're going to wind up. I think Panthers are going to send him to Chicago. I still believe that he'll wind up in Chicago. Just for some reason.
That wouldn't be a bad move. I mean, there was already reports of Teddy Bridgewater going to Chicago at one point. But
they said because of the presence of Trubinsky, this was rumored. I don't think it was confirmed. He rather get a chance. He rather have a better chance to start going to Carolina because I'm like the guy behind Cam that came in. He kind of fizzled out towards the end of the season. So
yeah, pretty much. What do you think about the Patriots overall? Now, life after Tom Brady. You got Bill Belichick's there.
So can he coach? Because
I mean,
I know
there's
that's
no
not
doubt,
a real question that
right?
he can coach, but now this is another year. Because remember, the other year was when Tom Brady got hurt. You
Right.
saw how he was able to handle the squad, and they missed the playoffs that year.
Yeah, they went
So
11-5 though. So I mean, that's
they
actually.
still lost. They still missed the playoffs.
I know.
So
I mean, I agree. I mean,
I'm
I'm not
like,
saying that. I'm not saying that it's okay to miss the playoffs, but still at 11-5. I mean, what more could you ask for from a backup?
well, and then two, that who was their backup?
Now,
Garoppolo or no. Who was their backup then when they went 11-5? I'm trying to figure out who it was. It
Matt
wasn't Garoppolo.
Castle. It was Matt Castle.
Yeah, there it is. It was Castle. So it's just like you look at who, and now we bring up the point. Okay, who's the backup? But eventually, who are they going to bring in? Because they're going to really look at that backup and bring in somebody that.
You know what? Knowing the Patriots
Mm-hmm.
all this time, I don't think they're going to bring anybody in. I think they're going to give Jarrett Stidham a chance, and they may draft a quarterback very, very late, probably like a 5th-round quarterback just to fill a spot, and probably try to groom that quarterback if Stidham don't do good. But I think Jarrett Stidham might be that guy. I don't think they're going to go in on a quarterback. Obviously, if they get a chance to get Cam Newton, I think they'll probably get him on a 1, maybe 2-year deal. But I don't think they're going in on building to get another quarterback right away. I think they're going to try to build around Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham didn't do that bad, but
Okay, let me respond to Ravens Nation. It's a combination. You can talk about the playoff system, but you can also talk about the fact that Brady possibly could have won 1 or 2 more games that would have for sure got them in the playoffs. So
I don't know,
there you
man.
have it.
At 11-5, I mean, it could be a seed system, but I mean, it could have been.
Well, the thing was is that they're still under that seed system, and you kind of see like 10-win teams not make it. But the thing is, they kind of put themselves. That's a problem that was created when they split everybody up into let's see, it's because you have East, West, North, and South. When they split into 4 divisions, when it was just East, Central, and West, you didn't have this issue.
Right.
So that's something that's the NFL's problem.
Tadal say that he think the Pats will pick up Andy Dalton. I'd be quite honest. I think they're better off with Stidham. Andy Dalton has gotten so wildly inconsistent. I think that's. I mean, maybe as a backup to Stidham,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see Andy Dalton going there and starting. Maybe because of experience, but I think that they're going to actually. Don't underestimate Jarrett Stidham. I watched him play in the SEC when he played at Auburn. He's actually pretty decent, but I think he's good enough to actually try. They're going to try him out. And I don't think he's like the heir apparent to Brady that he's going to be all right. And it's not like a Jimmy Garoppolo situation where obviously we knew Jimmy Garoppolo could have just fit in when they thought about getting rid of Brady the first time. It's not one of those situations, but I think Stidham is going to be, they're going to give him a shot. And I think he's going to be okay. But honestly, the Patriots with Tom Brady being gone, I give them, maybe 9 wins. The defense is going to carry him, obviously, but if the quarterback play's not there, I'll give him 9 wins.
I would think the same amount. Yeah, 9. Yeah. I agree.
I'll give them 9 or maybe 8-8 or 8-9. No, they do the 17-game season next year, not this one coming up. I'll give them maybe 9 wins.
Okay.
I don't know. Now let's. What's going on in Houston, man? What the hell is going on in Houston? They trade away DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals, which I think is a big pickup for the Cardinals, which we'll talk about in a second.
Huge.
But what Bill O'Brien is doing with the Texans, they get rid of Tunsil, they get rid of Clowney, which I think the Clowney move was a good move, and then they turn around and get rid of DeAndre Hopkins. DJ, what the hell are they doing over there?
It's Bill O'Brien being the bitch that he is. He just he's not he doesn't know what to do to win. He definitely doesn't know how to win in clutch situations. He definitely, his decision making, his play calling, his personnel management. It's just off, and it's way off. I don't think he ever had it to begin with. I don't understand why ownership still believes in him the way they do, because it's not even just this past season. It's past seasons where they've been in the playoffs and he's coached them absolutely into an L, and then in the off season made some questionable moves and barely getting anything for what he's done. He didn't get anything out of this trade at all. Maybe peace of mind, because maybe he didn't like the fact that what's the name would challenge him in the locker room.
Didn't they get like a 4th round pick or something like that? I'm not saying
that's nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's all I'm saying. It's just like year in and year out, they fail because at the end of the day, their coach is a bitch. Well, plain and simple.
The coach is the GM too. It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have much to say about the situation. I just think it's on the back end. I think the Arizona Cardinals just got a phenomenal player. They finessed
the hell out of it.
Yeah, Houston. They got a phenomenal player, and when Larry Fitzgerald, once he decides to retire, they're not going to miss a beat. I think they did a phenomenal job.
Man, Larry Fitzgerald's like Anquan Bolden Jr. Oh, okay. Yeah. I like who I got opposite of me. My stats are going to pop up. I'm like, because who you going to double?
I mean, Kyler Murray just got another weapon. I mean, in for all intents and purposes, he did very well this year. I thought he wasn't going to do that well, but he turned around and had a pretty good season. So with DeAndre Hopkins, and Larry Fitzgerald, and I think they had a couple other weapons as well. I think Kyler Murray could throw over 4,000 yards. I know.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Texans also got a running back. They got David Johnson, who was kind of flailing out anyway.
Oh yeah, they traded for him. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That whatever.
I don't know. I just find it very interesting how they did that. Pooh asked a question about the Panthers trying to trade Cam. He said, "How do you feel about the Panthers trying to trade Cam since they got Bridgewater now?" I think I don't see it as a bad move. Cam just wasn't up to the task this season. After the MVP season, he kind of fell off, and I don't have a problem with them trying to get away from Cam. It's just that Cam just been there from day one. Ever since he got drafted, it's hard to fathom or putting your head around him being with another team. So a lot of people are kind of like in shock, but we got to understand Cam didn't play good for the last season.
Yeah, I know VF will get credit for this one because pointing out all the inaccurate throws he had. Yeah, he just could not hit. Yeah, he couldn't hit anything within what? He couldn't hit anything right in front of him. And his throwing motion even looked like he was going to overthrow somebody. You didn't even it could look like he was going to overthrow somebody, and then all of a sudden, it got it. It just happened to wind up in the receiver's hands. But other than that, he was just overthrowing high, left, right, in the ground, and
he's just been wildly inaccurate. So I just
he was going to get somebody killed.
Yeah, to me, I don't see it as a bad move. Maybe he needs a different environment to go to, a different atmosphere probably help him could be a better, more accurate passer. Because he just probably needed a different scenery. So I was just, I don't have a big problem with them trying to get rid of Cam. I just think, after a while, some players just need a different place to go. Ravens Nation also said Cam fell off, or does the 99% of modern coaches suck? You got to think about it. A lot of modern coaches are actually pretty good. You look at the new coaches now. We don't, outside of Bill O'Brien. We actually have a lot of good coaches in the NFL. To be honest with you, you look at what Kingsbury did in Arizona. Nobody thought they were going to win, that many games. And not only the way that they lost their games, they played pretty good throughout the entire time. You still look at, regardless of what you want to say about what's his name, Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, he blew the Super Bowl, but he had a well-coached team.
Right.
No, I like seriously. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you look at all these other teams who actually, even with Adam Gase with the Jets. I mean, Adam Gase looked like he was spaced out when he first started out, but the Jets played pretty decent. I mean, you got to also understand why, even though these teams have a lot of wins and losses, and that actually determines a coach's success, obviously. But when you see certain teams play a certain way, there's not many teams that actually slacked off and just say, you know what, fuck it, we're not trying to win a game. I mean, coaches had a lot of their players playing hard. Cam Newton just have an accuracy problem. That's something to some extent you can't coach that. Not to take away from 2K Sports' old motto, you can't coach that. It is what it is. So I don't think modern coaches, they're not looking too bad. Modern coaches are actually pretty good. The coaching in the NFL is really not a problem right now. I mean,
if anything, coaching in the NFL is more micromanagement than it used to be.
Right. I mean,
especially with analytics.
Right. I mean, you may have just look at the Browns, for instance. You saw what happened there. I mean, the coaching there that was legitimately a problem. So I mean, but that's not even close to 99% of modern coaches. And that's just one instance. I mean, I really wish that, and I know people are gonna, probably think I'm crazy about saying this. I really wish Jason Garrett got a head coaching job somewhere else instead of being an offensive coordinator for the Giants. I'm very curious to see what kind of coach he will be while not being under Jerry Jones. Because I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he had a lot of overhead that kind of, limited him. So, but I mean, you got the coach that's with the Giants right now. It's going to be interesting to see what he do. You got some new coaches as well. So I kind of go against what you're saying. I think a lot of coaches in the NFL are actually pretty good. We may have one or two, but that's not even close to that's not even close to 99%. Speaking of coaches and players playing together, Bruce Arians has Tom Brady now. We just got finished talking about the Panthers. I'm not the Panthers. We just got finished talking about the Patriots. Right. What do you think about the Bucks with Bruce Arians, which has always been he's always been good with quarterbacks and just offenses in general. So you got Brady, you got Mike Evans, you have Godwin.
See, that's the main thing with Evans. Now you pairing Brady with a big target once again. And you see, and not saying that he's going to have a flashback of 2007, but
that's not coming back. I mean, we got to understand that was 13 years ago.
But Mike Evans definitely a stronger receiver than Randy Moss. Randy Moss was skinny, but he was fast and easily could beat like double teams. But what's the name will give you the tough catches that Tom Brady, because at Tom Brady's point in his career, he needs a receiver that can make those tough passes because Brady's gonna make those throws to Evans. That's just it's gonna be some tight windows he's gonna be thrown into. But but here's the other thing. I'm also wondering about that offensive line. What about Tampa's offensive line?
I think the offensive line is okay. It's not bad, but it's not good either. My problem is Brady actually going to get him the ball? There's a lot of reports that Brady's arm is not the way it used to be, so the deep ball might not be there.
Well, that's the thing, Mike Evans. You don't need to throw deep for.
See, that's what I'm saying. Fortunately, Evans is a pretty good possession receiver, so this could be like a situation where Mike Evans just had to be like a Gronkowski to him. Not only that, you got O.J. Howard there too, is at the tight end, who's actually pretty good too. So Chris Thomas asked like, Brady to the Bucks, our thoughts, and if so, would it be the team to beat? No, I don't think that'd be the team to beat. No, I still think
no.
I still think with the talent there and Bruce Arians at as a coach, I still think they're going to struggle because you got to also understand the actual the division that they're in. Yeah, I mean Brady's not in the AFC East right now. He's in a very tough division with Breeze with the Saints. You got the Falcons with Matt Ryan, and now Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the quarterback for the Panthers, and all four of those teams beat each other up throughout the entire season. There's not going to be a situation where Brady just had to worry about the Dolphins one game a year where the Dolphins get lucky and beat them.
Right.
They can mess around and be third or maybe fourth in the division easily.
Yeah, and plus that division is defensive minded anyway, so they will tear up Brady if that line can't hold out.
Right, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, even the Falcons lack pass rush. The pass rush for the Saints aren't the best. I mean, all these teams don't have the best pass rush, but you got to understand these teams beat up on each other every year, so it's always going to be a tough game. Somebody's going to get the upper hand on somebody in the trenches every time. So it's not going to be like, oh, we're playing, the Jets, or we're going to mess around and play the Bills. No, it's going to be this is going to be a tough division for them, so it is what it is. So,
you see this thing with Ravens next? It's like, we got to agree to disagree. Games are literally lost by coaches now, not even the actual players. Coaches now, compared to the 80s, have zero innovation or creativity and are super conservative.
Well, wait a minute.
That's certain coaches that are super conservative.
Wait a minute. The last part got me. He said coaches now compared to the 80s have zero innovation. What do you think? Hold on, wait a minute. What do you think Cliff Kingsbury, what do you think he did? Cliff Kingsbury was highly creative at getting Kyler Murray to be successful.
What about Kyle Shanahan?
That's another one. He's been highly
innovative. He did it with 3 teams, because he basically got RG3 his rookie of the year. He got RG3 the rookie of the year. He got Matt Ryan the MVP, and he turned around and got Jimmy Garoppolo to the Super Bowl. So it's like, and his play calling is very innovative. We're not going to talk about him not running the ball or passing the ball. I mean, you got me there. But overall, I mean, he has a very, very good playbook. And I mean, Sean McVay's another one. Say what you want about the Rams, they fell off, but his play calling was really good. Okay, so here's a question. When Buffalo lost that playoff game they lost to the Texans, correct? In that playoff game. Do you, Ravens Nation, do you blame the coach or do you blame the player? Because I saw the player making wild ass throws last I checked.
I mean, that is an anomaly, but you're absolutely right. I mean, for him to start, he was running down the sideline.
He was chucking them down the field like Hail Mary.
Not only that, DJ, the play when he ran to the sideline and he threw the ball behind his head to the lineman, I was done. That was like, okay, I was done with that. That was retarded. But no, it's like, when you look at the Bucs, I think the Bucs are going to be okay. I'm not saying they're a bad team, but as far as Chris Thomas was saying, for them to be the team to beat, that's a tall order, because we can even go outside of the division. You still got the Packers, you still got the
the Vikings.
You still got the Vikings. You still got the 49ers. I mean, you still got a lot of teams in the
Seattle
in the conference. Yeah, yes, exactly. And not to say what the Cardinals may do. I mean,
and we ain't gonna talk about anybody in the East, because none of them present a challenge for anybody in the NFC right now.
But still though, they go up against a team like the Bucs. It's not far fetched to say that an NFC East team would beat them. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's not like they're gonna any team in the NFC is not a cakewalk for nobody. So it's going to be tough. So it's not like for them to be the team to beat. Brady is a great upgrade from Jameis Winston mentally. Physically, yeah, maybe not. But the quarterback is a mental game now, so that is an upgrade.
Yeah, and also visually, because apparently Brady has better vision.
Wait a minute. Is that true now? Because Winston did get the LASIK surgery.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, according to the play, before the LASIK surgery, obviously Brady had better vision. But the thing is, this man threw 30 touchdowns. Talking about Winston, he threw 30 touchdown passes blind. And Kirk Cousins only threw 20 whatever touchdown passes, and his contract is basically extended. He can get now his extension possibly can be fully guaranteed after a certain point. So it's just like,
and you want to know something? Speaking of, since we can go there, we can jump to that. That's actually not a good deal for both parties, because they will not get another quarterback as good as him, and it's user friendly and it's team friendly on both ends. I think that's probably even when he got the all guaranteed deal to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
it's a win-win for both parties. And I'm actually surprised no other team has actually tried to do that with certain players at this point.
Well, I give credit to Cousins. Cousins been taking money. I give credit to his agent because he found a way to be like, look, you don't need to sign these long-term deals or nothing like that. I'm like, look what you did with the Redskins. You got they franchised them twice, three times. We was getting paid top quarterback money, and they was like, okay, how can I leverage this towards a team that's desperately looking to get rid of Case Keenum? All right. Pay me all the money. He got 3 years guaranteed.
And the thing about it is hard to go against that when he was already getting paid that somewhere else. So
right,
he bet on himself, and I'm not saying that he actually won because he's not the highest paid quarterback.
Nah, he won. No, he won. He got a fully guaranteed contract. That motherfucker won.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. On the other end of the spectrum, he actually did win because it's fully guaranteed. He's not the top quarterback getting played, but he doesn't have to worry about nothing on the back end. He's getting everything that's on that paper.
Mm-hmm. So he was like, interception, fumble, don't matter. I still get paid.
Right. And like when you get a fully guaranteed contract, it's like, who needs an incentive-laced contract at this point?
Right. I don't have to win any games. I still get paid no matter what.
Right. Right. So I mean, it's a win-win for them. But I think at the end of the day, as far as the whole team, I don't think they're going to do too much different than what they're doing. They did lose Stephon Diggs. Diggs was already having problems with the team. You saw that later on in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see where I can see where they're not going to really miss a step. I think Thielen's pretty much going to – don't be surprised if they go for a receiver in the draft, though. I would not be surprised at that.
I'm seeing another interesting statistic on this site. Go down to free agent spending by position.
Gotcha.
And right now, inside linebackers in particular, 7 players, $213.8 million. That's pretty. And then obviously
you know why that's the case, right? You do know why that's happening, right?
You're gonna have to entertain me with this one because I truly don't know.
The mobile quarterback.
True.
That's why they
got a lot of speedy linebackers. They're in play now.
Right. And you got guys like Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And you got, Deshaun Watson. What's his name? Super Bowl MVP.
That's funny. That's why a lot of safeties who can play the nickel linebacker are in play. I know they was trying.
But you know what they're doing with that, though? They're keeping the safeties where they are. Look at the next one that they got signed, the cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be coming down as nickel safeties. And on top of that is what? A passing league. If it's a passing league, that means you want more DBs on the field. You don't want to pull that safety down to be a linebacker. Get that third cornerback to be a somewhat of that type of player.
Because what's going to happen, more teams are going to try to play man in certain situations. So they want a cornerback, like you said, they want a cornerback who's more apt to play man than a safety.
Right. You don't want to pull that safety down because what you're doing, that's one less person on the field. They're spreading the ball around. And if you want that cornerback, or if you want that safety to actually be another linebacker and or cover, that's going to be a mismatch all day. That's why you want to get another cornerback. So you see why you're going to have a situation where linebackers, cornerbacks, and also receivers, they're going to go off the board when it comes to the draft. Because you got to think about, look at all the big talk about the draft now. Obviously, you got the Burrows and the Tunga Vailoa. You got the other quarterback Herbert. Obviously, they're always going to talk about that. But when you look at all the other stuff, it's the fast linebacker, it's the cornerbacks, and in some cases, you have the defensive linemen that they're talking about in the draft. They're trying to find a way to keep the quarterback in the box. They don't want or keep him in the tackle box. They don't want him to move around. So you see a run already in free agency. You see a lot of run on those type of players who are playing closer to the quarterback, trying to contain that mobile quarterback. So it's going to be interesting, especially when the draft comes up, how that plays out. Vic Beasley goes to the Titans. Tannehill gets a big. You know what? Let's talk about that real quick with the Titans. Tannehill gets a big deal with the Titans. Dak Prescott gets franchise tag. Personally, I see a problem with that. And I know you're Dallas. You don't like Dallas, but
it's not. It's definitely not about hatred of Dallas. I see this.
You see
one.
The problem.
This is yes.
You see the problem
because I've seen it happen in Washington.
Right. You see the Tannehill goes to the Titans, not even have a good year. He had an okay year, hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, and they go all the way to the AFC Championship game. He gets a big deal. Dak Prescott played with the Cowboys day one, never missed a game, did everything he was told to, and they turn around and franchise tag him. That is a serious problem with what's going on with, I ain't gonna say with black quarterbacks, because obviously black quarterbacks are flourishing right now, but there's a real big problem with his situation. He should be able to get the max deal easily. I don't see I see a very big problem with Dallas, and to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if Dak Prescott don't sign with them the following year, or hell, even sit out this year.
Was Tony Romo ever franchise tagged?
No, I don't think so. Absolutely not.
Okay, I rest my case.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just like Tony Romo was never franchise tagged. What about Drew Bledsoe?
No, but
I'm going down the list of Dallas quarterbacks that could have been franchised, they could have saved them some money and possibly just cut ties with them in order to get a better quarterback. But they stuck with Drew Bledsoe. They never franchised him. They stuck with Tony Romo. They never franchised him. So why franchise Dak when he's your better playmaker?
I mean, it's not even that, DJ. It's the fact that he done what they asked him to.
That's what I'm saying.
He honored his end of his rookie deal. He did everything. He played every game. He didn't miss a game.
He even played coon for Jerry Jones about the national anthem thing. So it's just like he did everything he was asked to do, and he stayed still franchised him. That's some fucked up shit right there.
It's pretty bad, and it's terrible, and how they treating him, and I'm not a big fan of that at all. Let's look at a couple of these comments. Chris Thomas said Winston's going to be a backup now.
I think he's free to. I don't think he's under contract anymore. He's free to.
I know, but what he's saying is wherever he goes, he's going to be a backup.
No.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, DJ.
He threw 30 touchdown passes last year. He ain't backing up nobody, and he now has clear vision.
Now, I'm not saying that he's not backing up nobody. There's a possibility, but it's very low. I can see him starting somewhere. Hey, for all intents and purposes, it's a possibility he might be in Chicago, to be honest.
Hey.
Who's to say? You know, who else needs a quarterback right now?
Because remember, Chicago was playing, at one point was playing better when Trubinsky wasn't in the lineup. So
right. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you're wrong, Chris Thomas, because I know you're a Bucs fan, but I'm just saying when you really look at what he's done, he wasn't a bad quarterback. We kind of see what the problem probably was, that the fact that he couldn't see, and it wasn't bad quarterback play for the most part.
Right.
So
he just
I can see him being a starter somewhere.
Right. You cut down those interceptions, he could truly say he was balling. But you can't see the field. You can't see anything beyond maybe 5 feet.
DJ, look, Phillip Rivers is going to the Colts now.
Oh God, he needed to go indoors.
Yeah, he's going to the Colts now. Brady was supposed to go to San Diego, but he ended up with the Bucs. Who's to say that Winston don't go to San Diego? You see what I'm saying? I don't think that he's just going to be stuck as a backup. I think there's potential still there. It's not like he played. I'm not saying that he played terrible, but he played bad, and we kind of know why, because he got LASIK surgery. When his eyesight is better, no telling. You know, he might light it up. Seriously,
he may throw because he's a gunslinger.
Right. I'm
like he was a blind gunslinger. He kind of had that same. Well, he didn't have that same trait as Aaron Rodgers, but I'm just saying.
Listen, this is a take that I might put out there, and y'all might think I'm crazy about this one too, but don't be surprised at this. he goes to the Bengals. Joe Burrow gets drafted, but it's a possibility he beats out Joe Burrow for this year, and Joe Burrow sits on the bench. I would not be surprised at that. I'm gonna be honest, I would not be surprised. And people, you're talking crazy, but let's be realistic here for a second. If Jameis Winston played very well with his eyesight, and Joe Burrow, I mean, would you really want to put Joe Burrow out there and struggle, and you still have like a 2-14 team? I mean, I'm just not saying that it'll happen, but we got to think of reality a little bit. It might not be far-fetched. Ravens Nation also says that Vic Beasley was always average. I agree. I don't. Matter of fact, let's see. He got signed for 1-year deal for $12 million. What is this? $9 million, 9.5 guaranteed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's a good chunk of that.
I can make a case where they possibly overpaid for him. He had that 1 year, the year we went to the Super Bowl, and he had 16 sacks. We also have to understand that 4 of those sacks came in one game. So there. I mean, not to put him down, but I mean, like $12 million, really? Let's think about
like that symbolized that he was streaky. Because you can have a big game like that and then be virtually quiet for the rest of the season, getting a sack here and there. I'm like, even when you get the sack, you may get it in a garbage time situation, which I'm sure there was plenty of. Not saying that the Falcons were on the bad end of it, but there's situations where the Falcons were well out ahead. He probably got a garbage sack here and there, a couple of like gang sacks and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right. Excellent point. Let's talk about the Colts for a second. Brissett, what do they do with him? Is it just going to be a one-shot
We just talked about black quarterbacks and yeah. That's,
Ravens Nation say they need a defense. They can address that in the draft.
Yeah.
I don't think the Colts are in a bad situation right now. I mean, even without Phillip Rivers, I still think they could have been a pretty good team. You look at the division now, the Jaguars free falling. They got rid of Calais Campbell. They don't know what they're doing. The Houston Texans.
And that made the Ravens even more dangerous. Now they actually have a pass rush.
Right, and then you look at the Houston Texans. They don't know what they're doing.
God.
Who else is in there? The Titans. The Titans look okay, but it's still, now you're going to probably have to rely on Tannehill even more because they paid him more. The Colts are in a good position to actually win this division, to be honest with you. When you really look at it, they're in a pretty decent division. So, I don't know.
Other than that, you know what? This is Bill O'Brien being a bitch. He probably thinks that Randall Cobb is the ultimate replacement for DeAndre Hopkins. That's
I don't have nothing to say about that. I ain't got nothing to say about that.
That's just sick.
I don't have nothing to say. I just anything
Wasn't
else?
Bill O'Brien a coaching disciple of Bill Belichick? How he turned out to be a bitch?
Everybody can't win, man. Everybody can't.
Yeah, but he needs a.
Everybody can't get the same tool and the teacher from the same teacher. I mean, you get one teacher that
his toolbox is empty.
Right.
Let's just say that.
I mean, you get one teacher that teaches 30 kids, and they always have that one that didn't learn a damn thing. So,
shoot, Winston can throw more interceptions than Bill O'Brien can make good decisions. So,
anything else y'all got with the free agency? I don't see anything else that stands out. You got Malcolm Jenkins leave. He got released by the Eagles. Somebody's gonna.
The Redskins need to go after him so they can pair him with Collins. That would be nice.
I don't see that. Hey, look, I don't see that a bad move. Shaq Lawson left Buffalo. He's with Miami now. So Miami's continuing to break the bank. Jamie Collins left New England. He's with Detroit. I wonder what they're going to do about their quarterback situation. That's going to be interesting. Chase Daniel is with Detroit now. Speaking of quarterback situation.
Trubinsky definitely doesn't have a challenger. So.
Right. Darqueezy Denard went to Jacksonville, which, whatever. Greg
Olsen went to Seattle.
Oh, speaking of tight ends, Jason Witten went to the Raiders. Like, what the hell is going on there?
Yeah, he was like came back for that one season. And was like, nah, I'm gone.
Yeah, he went to the Raiders. I'm like, what?
But here's the funny part about Seattle. Jordan Reed was seen up there being talked to. So I hope Jordan Reed gets signed, but with as many concussions, I'm more concerned about his life after football. I think honestly he should retire. But if they've cleared him from the concussion protocol, and if he pairs up with Russell Wilson, that's a safety valve I've ever seen such.
Case Keenum possibly be a 1-year deal. That is a 1-year deal. Okay, I was looking at something else. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see who else. Jimmy Graham
I like the fact
Jimmy Graham went to the Chicago Bears. That's actually a really good pickup. I don't know if it helped Trubisky, but it's a good pickup. What's going on, Quayface? I appreciate you coming through.
I know another good pickup that we desperately needed him to come back. Kendall Fuller to the Skins after spending a few years. He signed a 4-year, $40 million deal, so he's back with the Redskins. So so basically we see. It's funny because the trade was Alex Smith from Kansas City, and we had given Kansas City at the time Kendall Fuller, I think a 2nd-round draft pick, which we're still without, but at least we got Kendall Fuller back, but Alex Smith's still on the mend. So as far as the quarterback situation, I know we talked about quarterback situations earlier. The Redskins are thin at quarterback with just Haskins. So
I'm telling you, man, they might draft another quarterback. I'm not saying it's going to be the 2nd pick, but
it's going to be later in the draft. Yeah, I think so.
They probably end up drafting another
quarterback. Or they're going to if Alex I really think Alex should just be like, you know what? I'll call it a career. I'm like, it's a noble attempt to try to come back from that because we have the technology and we can rebuild them. But all that pain and suffering came from the defunct medical staff that got fired because of another situation. Because this is the one that hopefully gets settled at some point. Trent Williams at left tackle. If he gets traded, he's gonna be a monster wherever he goes.
Robert Quinn went to the Bears as well. I mean, with him, Roquan Smith, and Alex Mack. What is his name? His last name is Mack. I just don't remember his first name. Well, you got Roquan Smith, you got Mack, and now you got Quinn. Their defense is just getting better. They really basically just need a quarterback.
Shoot, if I was Tampa trying to protect Brady, I would go after Trent Williams.
That wouldn't be a bad move.
But we probably asked for OJ Howard. I seen that thrown out there.
Speaking of the Falcons, since you talked about your team, we got rid of Devontae Freeman. We got rid of Desmond Trufant. And we end up picking up Hayden Hurst from the tight end from the Ravens.
Oh, that was in it. Yeah, that was that trade. I think y'all sent a couple of draft picks.
Yeah, we sent the 2nd and the 4th, and we got Hayden Hurst in the 4th back. Overall, I don't see nothing wrong with that move. Hayden Hurst is an upgrade from Hooper personally. He played pretty good with the Ravens last year, so that's a win-win at the end of the day.
They said that the only thing about him was his health because he would have been an unquestioned starter if he hadn't got hurt in a couple of games.
Right.
So, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see what else they're going to do. Anybody got anything else for the free agencies? Because we're going to jump to, I know DJ has been playing a little bit MLB The Show. I want to know his thoughts about that. And we both have played Call of Duty. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, because NY Kid needs to tune in because, I'm beating up on the Mets.
If y'all got any questions about anything about free agency, please let us know. We're going to go ahead and jump over to MLB The Show. Give us your thoughts about it because I haven't played it. You already know my gripe about it, so.
Well, let's start with that gripe because once again, attention to detail gets missed. And the bad thing about it is that VF and I are so keen to this. We can see it in real time. We don't even need to go into a replay. This is how bad this sticks out to us and why, this needs to be addressed, because I'll have moments where I'll throw a nasty pitch, like a breaking pitch, a curveball, slider, whatever, and the perception is that swing and a miss. Mm-hmm. But when you're looking at it, you can clearly, well, for me in VF, we can clearly see that potentially the ball went through the bat at any point, bottom. Even I had pitches last year where literally it was at the fat end of the bat that the ball went through.
The ball went completely through the bat to the point where if you pause it just right, you'll see the ball is actually inside of the bat.
And that's why when I would do the video uploads on Twitter, I don't even have to say anything. I literally will just slow the replay down so you can see it clearly go through. And in those situations, you can tell what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a foul tip. Now all of a sudden, I had one pitch get foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. I don't know if it happened in previous seasons, but I had a strikeout occur of one of my batters because that happened. So it's just like, make the bat fully rendered in physics.
Yeah, it just need to be tangible.
Either that or fully render the ball physics. I'm like, go ahead.
I can't play this game. I'm sorry. I can't play none of the MLB The Shows after MLB The Show 14. I cannot play 15, 16, 17, 18. And this has been an ongoing thing for this entire generation, basically. The PlayStation 3 version never had this problem. For some reason, with better technology, you cannot have ball to bat tangibility is beyond me. It's almost equivalent to you shooting a basketball and the ball does not go off the rim when you're playing 2K or something. The ball just goes through the rim. It doesn't bounce off the rim or whatever. Or it could be another situation where you kick a field goal in Madden or whatever football game you're playing. The ball goes through the upright. No, I'm not saying through the upright, like through between the uprights. It goes through the upright pole, and they say that it's a miss or the field goal is good. Right. That's bullshit. It needs to stop. The game looks too good. It plays too good.
Yes, I agree.
It's a phenomenal looking game. I'm not saying. I played 19. I played 18. I haven't played 20, but I played these games. The game looks phenomenal. It looks too good to have this one issue. And it's a really bad issue because it compromises the game. A ball that goes through the bat could easily be a home run. It could be a foul tip. It could be a base hit, and it compromises the integrity of the game. And I can't see how y'all do it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't say I cannot play it again. I bought 19 for like $7. I bought 18 at full price. And there's no way I can play the game unless if I know that issue is fixed.
It's like there are moments where you can get a clear swing and a miss.
Right, and I understand, and I'm all for that.
And that's what needs to happen. There needs to be a clear swing and a miss, or if it hits part of the bat, at least have it ricochet off the bat. Maybe do what it did that one time, where it goes back into the catcher's mitt, where those like foul tips don't really move much. It just graces the surface of the bat, kind of alters slightly, and still continues on its path. But to have the ball continue year after year after year, go through the bat, and not even a subtle transition through the bat, and egregious.
It's like blatant.
So they really need to hone in on that. And then, okay, we've put up with the fact that the game, player interaction wise, is not rendered in full physics, because you have double play breakups that you see players go through each other at certain points, like an arm will go through a certain body part. That's fine because of the nature of the game is not as physical as other games. So that's fine. But let's extend it to catches in the outfield. I put up a video where you saw the ball go through the guy's glove and be caught. And that's not new this year. That's been going on too, year after year after year. It seemed like they got lazy with just saying, hey, let's make this guy open up his glove. All I need the glove is to open up to make that catch. His arm should be able to rotate further, but it's like they rotated enough and he's stuck in a particular position. They did it before where they corrected it, not last year, but in years past, where they made sure that glove was open and that the ball, like in those cases, the ball's going to go off the outside of the webbing of the glove and it's going to bounce off. I'm like,
imagine you hit a ball and
Mm-hmm.
it hits off and it's supposed to hit off the foul pole, and it goes through the foul pole and they call it a foul.
Right.
Just imagine that. That's points off the board. You see what I'm saying?
Right, because in real life, if it hits the foul pole, it's a home run.
Right, exactly. So
no matter what side of it hits, if it hits it, it's a home run.
Right. So just imagine, people don't want to say anything about, oh, the ball's going through the bat. You should just accept it. No, I'm not accepting it, because what if, that ball going through the bat is possibly a potential home run that the game is denying you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even talking about the foul pole situation. We're just talking about they're denying you possibly points off the board because you're swinging the ball and you make contact, but the game is telling you, no, you're not getting it. I don't get me wrong. I get it. I understand why people play this game, but I can't do it. I refused. And the only reason why I got it for 18 and 19 was because I wanted to play Road to the Show. I want to play a game where I can go through don't believe me or not, I want to play 162 and go through it, and play the games like that. I want to do that, but why bottom of the eighth, I'm down by 2 with 3 men on base, and I can't even get a base hit because the ball goes through the bat? Who wants to play like that? Ball goes through the bat, could it possibly be a base hit, but the game tells you no. The ball goes through the bat and you strike out.
And the thing is, year in and year out, these are issues that happen also online. And I would think they'd be worse due to lag. So
I
it's
don't
just
even
like,
want to talk about.
If we're having issues with the ball going through the bat offline,
right?
Then yeah, online you can only imagine. That's stuff like that is what keeps this game from being a 9. Like if I were to rate it right now, basically would be rating it on the overall experience with MLB The Show. MLB The Show to me has always been a 7 or 8, but never a 9 or a 10. I would never rate it that high because of that series of details that are missed year in and year out. And it's like I had Hollywood Sports, shout out to him. I know he was pointing me in the right direction, but I'm on Twitter. I've had Ramon Russell respond to me on a couple of occasions, but it's just like I do this every single year. And I thank VF for really pointing this out, because I pretty much had forgotten to look at stuff like that.
Right.
And when I started to look back into it, it was just like how egregious it became to me. And it was just like, look, I do this every year. It's a test every single year. I'm going to see if they've gotten this fixed. No. Then next year, let me see if they've gotten this fixed. No. And the pattern repeats itself. So at some point, while I'm showing these clips on Twitter, I'm also showing these clips of these massive ass home runs and highlights. So the balance is there.
DJ, this is the problem. Nobody cares because they like this game that much. People will put up with a bunch of bullshit because they like something. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say it, that's why a lot of people play Madden to this day, because they like the wow factor. And then we're not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. We already know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. They like the wow factor to get that home run, knowing damn well that, I can strike out. That's okay. And you didn't strike out. You know what they need to do? And I'm gonna go buy this game because I used to have it. All-Star Baseball 99 for my N64.
Mm-hmm.
They had a mechanic where when you use the left analog stick, I don't know if they still have it. Well, I ain't gonna say left analog. N64 only got one analog stick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they still have it, but you can swing like up, down, or middle based on you holding the analog stick up or down. But you had to press the button to swing. Like now, they have it where you use the analog stick to swing. But still, they could use the other analog stick to say you want to do a high swing, low swing.
I think I think for MLB to show that's pure analog.
Okay. But
yeah,
still,
because they have pure analog for pitching and they have it for hitting.
Okay. And that's what I thought they had it in because I couldn't remember. But at least you can control the swing to where if you miss the ball, you miss the ball. Instead of you got it right and the ball is going through the bag.
See, and my favorite tool to use was the zone hitting because I'm like, I felt like zone hitting was a lot better. I know analog is more for timing, but I felt like zone hitting gives you the point of a batter's visual of where they tend to look for a pitch, and also helps you with the strike zone because you place that little zone wherever you want, and it helps you become more disciplined because if the pitch is not anywhere near where you're targeting, you really shouldn't go after it. If you can manage to move it and get it to move it from you previously had and get a good hit, that's good on you. But more than likely, most batters, if they have a particular pitch and a particular location in mind, if it's not in that location or whatever, they're not going to go after it, whether it's a ball or a strike.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to this RBI baseball. I might have to get another console to get that shit. I want to play it because it doesn't come out on Steam. I thought it came out on Steam, but it's only on consoles. It's on Switch, PS4 and Xbox One. But that game actually looks good. I'm actually impressed with MLB. I'm sorry, with RBI 2020. I'm really impressed with that game.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, he must have dropped out or something. Hopefully it'll come back.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah.
I wonder what happened.
I don't know. It just sounded like you went underwater for a second and then.
Oh, it's probably me I probably hit the microphone on accident. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm here for RBI baseball 20. I really want to play that game, and I may buy a PS4 for it.
Now, here's a question, because we got somebody in the community that's telling people to buy the game and don't, be persuaded by people who don't like it. Would you be a person that would say for this game to go to buy it?
Buy what?
RBI baseball.
I haven't played it yet, so I won't say. But I mean, based on my experience, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Wait a minute. What is this here?
Wait
a minute, DJ.
What?
Let me see this real quick.
Oh boy!
Please let this be true. I need please, because I didn't see this before. What's that right there on the end next to the Switch?
PS. Oh, that's Steam.
Is it on Steam? Oh,
that's a Steam logo.
I might have to try to get this.
Yeah, that's a Steam logo right there. That's
Is Steam still down? Steam was down today.
Oh, I didn't. I've been working all day. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you did have to work, but if it's on Steam,
I'm about to say I'm not a gaming nerd anymore. So I'm a scheduling nerd now.
I'm telling you, if this thing is on Steam, I might have to get this. I'm really impressed with what they did. I don't know if they have a franchise mode though. I mean,
I think they do. I think that's the thing that's getting people now, is that I think they do have a franchise mode now.
Okay.
Yeah, if you click on, I guess, read more.
I'm going down to see. I don't see anything else.
I'm like, I can't. I haven't played RBI baseball since I was 8 years old, so I can't really.
RBI, you tripping though? RBI baseball used to be the shit on the NES though.
Yeah, I love the RBI.
Here it is right here. It says that RBI baseball is back with new batting, pitching, and base runner controls. I'll just forget about that. All your favorite game modes, franchise
exhibition,
online multiplayer, home run derby. Yo. Let me go right here. Let me look.
So and it looks like they still have more features to announce. So
don't get me wrong. I like MLB The Show, but
They are building
shit.
RBI baseball to be.
Shit. 15, 16, and 20 was on Steam. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It just came out today too.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to get this.
You've been sleeping.
The dead ass. I've been sleeping. I'm not lying either. I definitely got to get this. This game looks really good. No joke. I'm highly impressed with this. Well, anyway, nevertheless, anything else you got on this on MLB?
Well, like I said, I'm gonna bounce it out because other than that, I've been enjoying my time. I'm like, MLB The Show is the only game that I do not have to change any of the settings to jump into a franchise mode. I can go in there and I can get mostly the baseball experience. Like, I've already played 2 games. I'm 2-0 with the Nationals, beating up on the Mets, doing what I'm supposed to do. The first game I won 3-1. The second one I won 3-2. Had a home run with I can't remember people's names when I need to remember people's names. Goddamn concussions, playing football, got my short-term memory all busted up. I can't even remember stuff when I need it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, key home runs when I needed them. Max pitched a hell of a game, 12 strikeouts. Then the second game was a lot closer. I'm like, the Mets were actually ahead. What was it? 2-0. What was it? 2-1 by the end of the first inning. Got to Strauss early, but Strauss settled down, had 9 strikeouts. Had to add a little bit more strategy because I had to pull him after the 6th inning because I needed a pitch hit for him. Did a couple of double switches because it's the National League. This is what you do. And, the league's trying to do that, trying to get rid of all that in real life. And wound up pulling it out. Doolittle came in with the save, got 3 straight strikeouts. And I'm like, I with the MLB not starting their season, I think this will help me get going in my franchise and get started. It's a deep ass mode. It's not like it's not my league. My league is still the top franchise mode as we speak. But number 2 is the show's franchise, not to mention Road to the Show. Mm-hmm. Road to the Show is probably the number 1 career mode on the market. So I like what I'm getting out of MLB The Show, minus the ball going through the bat and stuff like that. It cheapens the experience when I'm able to get a strikeout because the ball went through the bat, and the fact that I got robbed because I thought I made good contact offline and the ball goes through the bat. So I hate that. And that's why, overall, MLB The Show with those flaws can get no higher than a 7 or 8 if I were to rate it right now.
Okay, that sounds fair. I'm looking at a lot of the reviews on Steam, and MLB The Show. RBI baseball is getting hammered right now. A lot of reviews that are saying it's not recommended. Some people saying that the PC don't have any multiplayer. Yeah, a lot of people saying they have a problem with the multiplayer. But they're saying everything else is, for the most part, they think it's okay.
Well, and the funny thing is that I wonder what's going to happen once, because remember, this is the last year that MLB.
Why are people playing this game with a keyboard? People are complaining about controls because they're playing with a keyboard. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah,
I ain't taking that.
Go there.
Yeah, I'm not even going there with it. They're dumbasses.
But yeah, remember, this is the last year that MLB The Show is going to be a Sony exclusive. Next year, it's going multi-plat.
And then more likely going to be on PC. So
yeah,
that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as well.
Graphically, modding.
Right, and I want this game to be, you know what? With the modding, I think they'll be able to fix that issue because I know people on PC are going to see that. They're going to notice.
They're going to fix that.
People on consoles don't think about stuff like that. But the PC community, they're not going for that. They will mod the shit out of the game for that to work. They'll patch the game themselves.
I tell you what, Ramon Russell. Instead of doing those commercials with that old ass puppet, how about you go in there and fix them ball physics and them bat physics?
Right. Let's jump to Warzone before we get out of here. What do you think about Call of Duty? How many games you played?
I've only played that one game where I was able to jump in fairly quick. I know there's been an issue with the player count because they put it up so high that, and they say I think they don't start the game until there's a minimum of 110,
Yeah, something like that,
and it keeps fluctuating, so people are stuck in queue forever waiting for a game to start. But the one game I was able to play, I felt like me and my partner had immediate chemistry. We were communicating. It was both of our first time playing, so we literally were covering each other's back. Now, I think you can have up to a squad of 5 on a map, and I think just because the way they paired us up, we were in duos, so we did okay. We got fucked up towards the end, but the interesting thing about when you play is that, okay, you get shot up, you die, or technically you don't die, you get put in a gulag, and you got a 1v1 chance to get back into the game.
Right.
So I thought that was an interesting twist. Both my partner and I got out of there. We won our 1v1s, got back in the game, and then unfortunately we tried to raid a loot box that dropped, like an ammo crate or whatever, that dropped down.
So you buying loot boxes around here?
No, see, here's the other thing.
No,
I'm serious. There's in-game currencies because it is free to play.
Right.
So there is in-game loot. There are loot boxes that you have to use in-game currency to purchase certain things.
But
I'm okay. But it's free to play.
That's
so
I'm okay with that because it's free to play. I don't have a problem with that. Hell, they can put like crazy ass monetizations type deals in a free to play game. I don't have a problem.
Right. That's been the whole problem with the games that you pay $60 that they want you to pay more for. It's like, look, just give me the base game. Let me play. If I want to play it base throughout the whole entire time and earn some of the stuff, then let me do that. But if I want to
pay, I'll pay.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the main problem. I played one game. I played Plunder. I love that. I love Plunder.
Wait, you gotta tell me about Plunder because I haven't played that mode yet.
Plunder is basically you kill people and you loot them as you kill them, or you loot other things across the map or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a place where you drop, the helicopter drops so you can, stash all the things that you looted. I think it's like the first person to 1 million wins or something like that. Mm-hmm. So you do get to come back once you die. You spawn back in just like you would normally would.
But doesn't it take in there like a spawn delay of like 12 seconds?
Yeah, it's a spawn delay. You don't jump right back.
But it's like a continuous, like, you don't have to worry about one and done or a second chance.
You don't. No, you don't have to worry about that. You continuously go, but you plunder and you loot till you get to, I think it's $1 million. But like, there's a lot of stuff that's worth a lot of things, like certain items, ammo, certain other types of loot. It's a very good mode. I really like it. Like Ravens Nation say right here, he got 23 kills and plunders right now. That game is so much better Battle Royale than the one released by Black Ops. Yeah, Plunder. Yeah.
Black Ops was a disaster with what was called Blackout.
Yeah, it was Blackout.
When they monetized that, that's when it went down.
But see, they did that on the back end. These
they got everybody because they got everybody was like, "Yo, this is the new thing. Let's get this." And then all of a sudden, it was like,
Activision turned a new leaf. No loot boxes. 2 weeks later, after the game have been out and been reviewed, they throw them right in there 2 weeks later. Mm-hmm. No. What they did with Plunder is look, I wouldn't be surprised if other games follow that because it is a very fun mode because it's not a one and done. You loot, and the thing about it is everybody knows when the helicopter is coming so you can stash your loot. Because what it is, the helicopter comes to the helicopter pad. You go to the the rope where they drop the little thing so you can put your money in. And when you put your money in, it flies off. And once it gets in there, that's your stash, and you continue to build that stash until you get $1 million. The problem is that when the helicopter comes in, everybody knows where you're at. So everybody's going to, and not only that, they can stash their loot as well. So and it'll go into their bank as well. So like one time I called a helicopter in because I was like, okay, and I knew it was a problem because I saw a car come up, and then I saw some other people come around the way. So what I did, I hid. And while I was hiding, I saw a bunch of people running up to it, and that's when I started. I started mowing down a whole bunch of other people. Me and the other two guys was with me. We mowed down everybody, and we end up winning that because that was kind of like the strategy. We'll call it in, and then we'll fall back and watch other people try to look for us, or they'll try to stash their money in. And once they did, we just mow them down. So I thought it's a great mode. It's a great idea. I thought it was really good. I highly recommend that. I'm not saying there's anything against the Battle Royale side because I haven't played yet, but I played Plunder first because I was curious and I couldn't get off of it. I thought it was great. Ravens Nation also say Plunder still requires teamwork. Yes, it does. If you're dying all the time, you aren't getting money, which is the entire point of Plunder, is to get money. Like I said, you got to get the money. You have to have teamwork because once you call in that helicopter to stash your money, everybody's going to know where you are. So you have to be mindful of that. Another thing that he said is nothing is better than trying to drop your money off and Plunder 4 squads shooting each other trying to drop off your money. Yeah, exactly. It's like everybody, once you call in that helicopter, everybody knows what's going on and everybody's going to try to come in and see what's up. So it's great. I highly recommend it. Like you said, Infinity Ward, they released a great product. They really did. They did, this gives me the Apex Legends type feel where you don't feel guilty or you don't feel bad playing a shooter because the monetization isn't bad, but I really feel that the concept of Plunder is way better than what Apex Legends is, because Apex Legends is just a battle royale. But even with Apex Legends, you didn't feel bad playing that game because it was free to play, it was fun, and everybody had a good time because nobody felt intimidated by putting money in. So I get the same type of vibe. I'm definitely going to be playing this for a good while. The Battlefield, EA, and DICE need to get on their job because this looks like this is something that this could be a good trend. This could be really good. Tadal said it sounds like Division with the Dark Zone. Yeah, it does. It does. It does. It gives off that same type of feel to it. But overall, I think they did a really good job.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like I said earlier, people are going to be playing the Division in real life.
Yeah, I know.
New York going to be, the quarantine zone. That's literally what they called it, the quarantine zone.
I think,
right, but it's like Dark Zone, but it's still, that was the quarantine zone.
Right.
So, yeah.
Honestly, I just needed it. I needed a break from, listening to that. And I'm glad once again that we did this podcast. I feel good now compared like it was last time. I was real tense. I wasn't tense this time, but it's just
because you was about to tell me to shut the fuck up earlier. That's what it sounded like.
All bullshit aside.
He was like, "Can I get a word in edgewise?" I'm like, "What?"
Yo, that was low key warranted. You was getting on to me. I was like, "Yo, man, Case Keenum."
No, because this is the thing, and this is the thing everyone could possibly hear. It's like, you'll ask for my opinion about something, but then you'll take over, and then it'd be like, then why ask my opinion when I get a little piece, and you like, you're like what your son did with you, where he took the rest of the pizza, and it was like my pizza, son, even though you had a little bite of it. So it was just funny. I didn't take anything from it. I knew once again, probably came in a little tense, was feeling a little bit, and I was like, you know what, honestly, I'm good.
Honestly, I wasn't tense. It was just like, yo, this Case Keenum shit is bugging me, man.
I was like, over Case Keenum? I was like, come on. Case Keenum. Because I'm like, as far as Case Keenum, I'm like, I agree with you with the fact, I agree. Yeah,
let's go full circle with that. You do agree with me with Case Keenum, but would it be far-fetched that Case Keenum outplays Baker Mayfield in the preseason?
That's the challenge. That's where I agree with you. I agree with the fact that he does present a challenge where that's a possibility he could outplay him. But again, I look at Case Keenum's overall stints, and it's like he's good for 1 year or a part of a year, and then that's it. So at best, he'd be a mentor to show Baker Mayfield that, hey, this is how you play the game of football. This is how you act around the game of football. This is how you be a pro. This is how you be a leader. Not that bitch that keeps throwing people under the bus and looking like some drunk homeless guy on the football field.
Right, I'll never forget. He looked so suave and so cool.
Right,
around the preseason,
doing them commercials where he's cleaning up the stadium.
By week 8, he looked like a homeless person. Yo, he looked so bad. He looked so different by the time when the NFL humbled him. I was like, my God, this should be a lesson. Hey, say what you want. Even Johnny Manziel didn't go down like that. That was terrible.
He was just like,
at least Johnny went down swinging. This dude was like, yo, I got humbled. Yo, I'm scared as shit. I don't even want to touch a football right now.
Man, all I know for Baker Mayfield's career, it's easy to lead from in front. But, to lead, when everything is good, not from in front, but when you lead when everything is going good. But he just didn't show any leadership when things were going down. Myles Garrett swinging at quarterbacks with other quarterbacks' helmets, and he's sitting there like, nah, that guy, he shouldn't have done that. I'm like, dude, stick up for your teammate. Talk to him about what he did wrong behind the scenes, not out on it. You got a mic stuck in front of your face. Now you want to just throw. That was the time. Again, shut the fuck up. Be a pro. Learn how to talk while the live TV cameras are rolling, and then talk to Myles when they get in the locker room. Don't throw your teammate underneath the bus and have him feel like my teammates don't have my back. So yeah, especially the quarterback. The quarterback especially should have your back to the public, but then let the quarterback be like, that. Like the quarterback takes him inside the locker room and be like, look, Myles, that was fucked up, right? Right. You should have dropped that helmet. Despite how you were feeling, no matter what happened, should have not swung that helmet because the optics of it. Because even for Myles Garrett, I know Myles is still continuing with the fact that, he called me the N-word. And I'm just like, it's not going to matter what he may have said. The optics are, you swung a helmet at this quarterback and it hit him in the head.
The only way that he would have won that if you can actually hear him say that on
XFL.
Yeah, exactly.
This is an XFL. We've seen what McLaurin did.
Right. If this was if he had something like that and you can hear him say it, then we get it. But not saying that he didn't. It's just that it's not necessarily hard to believe, but it's just that it's hard to buy.
The only thing I do believe is that if Mason Rudolph hadn't charged him a second time, then he wouldn't have had the helmet swung at him.
Yeah, I agree.
That was just instinctual to just be like, get away from me.
Right. I agree with that. I agree. Anything else y'all got? Let me see. Ravens Nation said playing football. You said playing football now are part of my generation. I expect Mayfield to stand up for Myles. Ain't got dog. I agree. And DJ said the same thing.
I agree.
You do. I mean, especially, that's your teammate. Even if you don't want to necessarily stand up for him outright, you should have just said no comment.
Right. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just say no
Don't snitch on your homeboy.
Right. Just say no comment.
Maybe he wasn't your homeboy to begin with.
Now he's not now, for real,
Myles is like, I catch your ass on the street. Don't drop your helmet.
Wait a minute. That didn't sound good. That's almost had a don't drop the soap reference. He said, don't drop your helmet. Wait a minute.
Well, you don't want to do that around Pooh, apparently. Well, he's retweeting out these days.
Hey, DJ, speaking of that tweet, he left for a minute, and you know what he typed when he came back? Look at this.
No.
Let's stop messing with Pooh. Got a really good suggestion though. Comment. He said the cops in Need for Speed is incredibly hard to get away from. Yeah, I have that issue in Heat as well. Hey, yo, I'm gonna tell you, that's a game I recommend. If you want a racing game, get Need for Speed Heat. That is actually a good one. That's a good one to get and play if you want to.
See, I have flashbacks of the old Need for Speeds when it was incredibly tough to get away from the cops.
Oh, Need for Speed.
Those Need for Speed games. they definitely knew your ass was black and driving.
I remember High Stakes and Need for Speed 3. That was the first hard pursuit on Need for Speed 3 when they had the El Nino car. That one was hard. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 for the PlayStation 2 was great. That one was hard too.
Man, those were the days.
Yeah, they don't make games like that no more. Anything you got, DJ, before we go?
I got nothing. I got nothing else. Since State of Decay has refreshed itself with a huge ass download, and they basically touched up their graphics and added a new map.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm definitely going to be restarting my series. I don't know if I'm going to continue off where I left because the game does look different. But I think I should start off properly with the new map and then roll into some other series. So look for that soon. I know I keep saying that, but I was truly just waiting for this to. And I think, what's the name? Ghost Recon. No, I was about to say Wildlands. Breakpoint is going to experience a change in its gameplay.
No, they need it.
Yeah, because they'll have a mode where you'll get rid of all the loot system and stuff like that, and you'll be able to like purge and plunder from downed enemies. So that's going to be nice. And also they're going to make their injury system ultra realistic.
Oh, so they're trying to do what Escape from Tarkov did?
Pretty much.
Yeah, because Escape from Tarkov, you talking about realistic, Jesus Christ. Y'all go on Twitch and look at some of that gameplay. That game, I told myself I was going to get into that game. That game got me intimidated. That's how realistic that is. I mean,
yeah, and they're still working on getting the AI partners in the game, which the story is set up for you to be solo. So at this point, I really don't see the point of having the AI in there.
Right.
But if they're gonna be able to put it in there, if it works, then okay. But when those cutscenes happens,
the mechanics of that game, I mean, phenomenal. But that thing is way too realistic. You're gonna have to put some time in it to learn that game. You have to put some serious time in that game. And that would intimidated me. It's not the gameplay or whatever. It's like it's not that. It's just that the fact that the time. It's not the gameplay. It's just the time you got to learn. So Ravens Nation. I think DJ. We did talk about Insurgency coming to consoles in one of these episodes, didn't we?
Yeah, it was like maybe 5 episodes. Yeah.
Don't expect that game to be just for the PS4 and Xbox One. I'm almost certain that game is going to be slated to play on the PS5 in the series. And speaking of that, we're going to talk about both consoles on Thursday because Sony's going to put out their information about the PS5 tomorrow. So that'll give us a good time to talk about both consoles on Thursday. It kind of made no sense to talk about the series today and then talk about the PS5 on Thursday. I mean, we just will do both at the same time. So I know somebody asked about that earlier. As far as the Madden 08 series, I'm very excited. The live stream I did the other day, and we ended up getting Matthew Stafford. We got rid of Brady Quinn. I got my running back I wanted. We got we got Laurinaitis. I like what I see there, and also with the NCAA football dynasty, I'm gonna fire that up probably tomorrow. So I like where both dynasty and franchises are going. I do need to go back in and edit some players. Apparently, whoever did the rosters for my NCAA 08 series, they gave Mark Sanchez an afro for some reason. I don't know.
I remember seeing that. That was wild.
Yeah,
Marco.
Right. And they gave Sean Lee a melatonin dysfunction. He's black.
So, why does it gotta be a dysfunction to be black? What are you trying to say?
No, I'm not saying there's a dysfunction.
No, you said dysfunction.
No, I'm not saying there's a dysfunction to be black.
You know the optics of what you just said.
I'm not saying there's a dysfunction to be black. I'm saying there's a dysfunction for him because he's not black. So he needs to get fixed.
You know, the optics sounded bad on that one.
Yeah, it did sound bad. But he needs to get fixed as well. And maybe a couple of other ones. I'm going to look at some equipment stuff because DeMarco Murray, he's with the Falcons. He got drafted to the Falcons. Tim Tebow got drafted to the 49ers. Ray Rice is light-skinned. I need to fix that. Thank you, Ravens Nation. He's on my team, and he's light-skinned, and I don't know why I never went back to fix that. Matthew Stafford don't have his mullet. I'm going to fix that. But you know what? they got Tim Tebow down very well. Did y'all notice that? If y'all go back and look, when Tim Tebow has like the hairstyle and the beard, not the beard, but the goatee, they did him very well. I mean, now he has a goatee, but back then he didn't. But nevertheless,
VF, I shared something in the Twitter DMs. I think you may find this a little funny.
You know what? They wrong for that.
Can you show that real quick? Just a It's a preview of what we will talk about on Thursday.
Yeah, let me put this up on Twitter because hold on, let me see. There it is, my Twitter feed right here.
Oh man,
they wrong for this. Let me blow this up a little bit. Check this out. Look what they did, everybody. This is terrible. Edit this with Yoshida. They wrong for that. They put the Xbox Series X in the casket. They're so wrong for that. They're wrong for that. Hey man, the Series X might be all right, man. Based on what I've seen, it seems like it's pretty cool. But
yeah, we'll see. Apparently tomorrow, PS5 will go in depth with their specs, and we'll see what's up.
And another thing, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all haven't seen this because I didn't put any footage up. My NC State team looks phenomenal. You guys are gonna like that when I do a live stream of that. That team is loaded. We're looking pretty good. But nevertheless, I need to do some edit. Like I said, I need to do some edits with some players' numbers because I want to give them their numbers as close as possible, what we know them as, and some of their equipment. Like we don't want like Tim Tebow wearing a 1-bar helmet or something like that. So I'm gonna fix all of that as well. So I'll probably do that tonight, going into tomorrow. But definitely so. Outside of that, DJ, you got any last words?
Dos for Donuts? That's the wrong game. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate everybody hitting the like button. I think the ratio is pretty good. I still would like to see more people because right now it's showing 6 for 6, but we probably topped out at about 12 people watching at one point. I don't know for sure, but
it had to be like 11 or 12 or something like that.
Right. So another one in the books. And hopefully see you guys on Thursday where we just, like I said, we just preview what maybe one topic of what we're going to talk about.
I don't know. It just depends on what else goes on in with gaming or whatever the case may be, or even in sports, because the Xbox Series versus PS5 is really going to, that's going to be the hard topic. That's going to be the heart of the episode. But we'll throw some other things in there as well. So we'll see how that goes. Like DJ said, man, appreciate everybody who come through. If you listen to us on YouTube here, you can listen to us on the go with iTunes and SoundCloud. Still waiting for Spotify to say something. I haven't heard anything. I'm about to regulate and ask some questions. Also, if you listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Google Play, you can listen to us on YouTube when we're live. Once again, thanks to everybody. Once again, a lot of support. And another thing, people are actually liking my little mini vlogs when I talk about certain issues. I appreciate that because I thought nobody would listen or actually like what I had to say. I usually do that like when I'm on break at work or when I'm done with my job or whatever, and I'm about to clock out. So I appreciate everybody who giving good feedback there. So I think I'm gonna do more of that. So Thursday we'll be back, and I'm gonna look into this RBI baseball. You guys take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Another great episode.